You want to give up. You become kind of bitter. You become kind of sour. Now, but it says in the book of Proverbs, King Solomon said, Sheva yipol tzadik vekam. A righteous will fall 7 times and will get up. We know that the people that make it big, they never make it on the first attempt. Something there needs to give us the power to fall and try all over again. To fall and try all over again. The only way we heal from the falling is when we don't take it personally, because we don't let the failure to control our lives. How do we do it? Again, when we have a mission that is greater than just our original selfish need. When we really authentically and genuinely want to make this world better. So when we do that, we escape the erosion, we escape the bitterness, we escape the pain of falling, because everybody falls. Everybody falls. Disney fell many times. President Trump, he failed many times. How many times he went bankrupt? I don't remember, I didn't count it. But nobody just make it okay on the first, and not even the second or the third attempt. The whole thing is, when it's not all about me, it's also about others. It's also about learning that I'm destined to be successful. However, I have to try and overcome my own limitations, and I have to do it also for the others, not just for myself. Then I have the ability to get the spiritual content, the spiritual enlightenment that will heal the pain of the failure and allow me to trust, have the faith that more than I want to be successful, the creator, the endless creator that he created me, he wants me to be successful and will show me the way. Just I need to get out of my box. And my box is my belief system about what's possible, what's not possible, what should I do, what I shouldn't do, what I know, what I don't know. How do I do it? By trying again. Trial and error, that's what brought humans always towards success. Not by giving up after the first trial, not even the second. As it says in King Solomon's book, the book of Proverbs, 7 times you might fall. Don't give up. The righteous, what do I mean the righteous? It's the person that cares also for others, not just for himself. And because when you care for others, you don't allow yourself to fail. For example, you can see it whoever, let's say every mother knows it, when all the kids get sick, but she doesn't get sick, the mother. Why? She can't afford it. She's so busy caring for the kids. She wants to be strong because she needs to share and help and support the kids. Whenever, you see today, the heroes of today, it's the medical people in the hospitals, and how they work like crazy. And you ask yourself, where do they get the power from? And the answer is, when you really care for others, the Creator will give you as much energy and power, innovation, and forces to be able to do that and to be innovative and to be there for others. The moment you start looking at yourself and say, what, I can eat, what about me? I need my vacation, I need my time off, whatever. In that moment, if you are looking at inwardly and you're just becoming a finite being yourself again, suddenly all these superpowers leave you and you start to collapse. And we all know that the moment we go inside ourselves and we're just busy in the dark little corner, what about me, feeling sorry for myself and so on, then you lose the ability to fight again and again, to recreate and reinvent yourself again and again, and then you even get sick. So we are in an amazing time in the history of humanity. First time that the whole of humanity feels like we are all in it together. And we have to go through it together, and we have to be responsible for each other, because the moment somebody fails in other side of the globe, everybody feels that. And everybody needs to support each other. And the same thing, we as individuals with our immediate environment, which is the people living in our building, in our street, our family members that we cannot see them, but we have to be in touch with them to make sure that everything is okay. There's so much there to stop the rush and think one important question. When I wake up in the morning and look at the mirror, who is the person that I want to see? That's the most important thing. Why? Because that person is your biggest asset. You cannot make it big in business if you're not a Superman or Superwoman. And being a Superman and Superwoman is when you connect to the superpowers that are available to each one of us. And these are the forces that created. They are unlimited. And they're available for all of us. We just need to want it, to be open for it, to realize it's there for us, and to be willing to create with that a better place, a better world, not just for ourselves, but also for others. When we agree to that and we are focusing on that, we will find ourselves having endless powers, ideas to always be able to move forward and make it happen. So this is the basics of them all. Now, how do I overcome the emotions of fear? Because emotions of fear, they make us really small. The emotions of despair, it makes us very small. You cannot be in despair and be creative on a positive way the same time. It doesn't work. How do we do that? We need to ask the support of the above. And how do we learn it? This Wednesday night is Passover. This is the night of Passover. And you have to understand, 33 centuries ago, Passover was also Wednesday night, like this year. 33 centuries ago, and a little bit more, there was also a pandemic, and everybody was asked to sit at home till the morning, till the light shined all over again. And another thing that happened on that night, which is the most important, on that light, the Creator intervened, because you have to remember, humanity was till that time a bunch of slaves. Nobody wants to go back to those days because nobody had human rights. Everybody was enslaved to a terrible dictatorships everywhere around the world. Basically, we would call them today criminals. All the kings and the royals of those days, they were criminals. They were dealing with black magic, with witchcraft, nothing about the other, it's all about themselves. Human beings were property. And how do you get out of that box thinking you deserve nothing, you're going to get nothing, it will never change, you're always going to be the dirt that you were born as? That was the logic, the religion of the ancient times. There was a need for a divine intervention. So on that night, Wednesday night, some more than 3,300 years ago, there was an intervention. There was a 10th plague. The 10th plague did two things. One thing, whoever was outside, whoever was busy with his selfishness, was burned. Whoever was inside, looking inwardly and looking to become free, got this endless light of freedom that elevated our consciousness. It was the Israelites at that time, the consciousness that I know how does it feel to be free. I never felt that before. The moment you feel that, you know now what is that you really want. So this Wednesday night, we're all going to be at home, and this is the time to meditate, to contemplate, to ask, to pray, to receive that energy of real freedom. Real freedom does not mean that I have all the money in the world, I can do what I want, that I have all the health in the world so I can do what I want. Freedom means that my mind is free of fear, pain, uh, all those emotions, anger, frustration, hatred. That is when we are free. And you know what? When we are free of these emotions, we can really connect to this awesome force of the light of the creation that is everything there. All the solutions are there. All the energy is there. All the innovation is there for each person what they really need to become in order to become what we were born for. Because one of the things that were uh, revealed on the Exodus was that every human being is unique, different, and has a different calling. But we are all connected to each other, and we all complement each other, and we all basically one. On the same time, each of one of us is unique and different and special. And there's no one like me ever. If I'm not bringing my contribution to humanity, nobody else will bring what I'm supposed to bring. But if I just am committed to that, I will get all the support, all the light, all the energy, all the circumstances, all the accidents that will happen, accidents, so-called, that will bring me to the place that I need to be in order to be part of that whole thing that is called the creation of humanity. So basically, we're in a very, very special time. And what else do we do? Just to sit at home and to contemplate, to pray, and to ask to be the person that we are supposed to be, to listen to the calling that all of us have to listen to in order to be really successful and create the environment that humanity needs, each one of us, to be the best, the most complete, the most positive. So I think that this message sums it in a way, and I hope that you got something out of it. If anybody has questions, if this is the time for it.
Let me now put the microphone. Shaul, toda Rabbi, thank you so much. Primero, first of all, if you don't mind, I would suggest two things. Okay, first of all, please everyone start writing your questions both in YouTube and in Zoom. Okay, if you have any questions for our rabbi. Okay, and Shaul, as there are a few people who joined up later because of technical issues with YouTube, why don't you sum up again like a bullet point tips of how to be innovative, creative, and be connected, okay? So that we can do a short sum up. People can listen to it again, and no one misses the big idea, as we have so many people watching, and maybe some of us in Zoom want to get it again, okay? And in the meantime, we will be receiving the questions for Shaul, and I will be doing them to him. Okay, Shaul, you okay with it?
Yes, of course. Okay, so we made a few points. One point, when we're talking about Kabbalistically, what is the basic of human existence is that we were created, all of us, as creatures of desire, and we legitimately want to be happy, to be successful, to be fulfilled, to feel pleasure every moment of our lives. We were born for that purpose. And especially, how do we know that? When we don't feel like this, our bodies are starting to deteriorate. We are not designed to be miserable. We are not. It's against the law of the universe to be unhappy, to be depressed. Why? You're falling apart. It's like the wrong fuel. Why? And the answer is the energy of the creator, which is endless light, as it says, and God said, let there be light, is the light of all that is good. We were created to receive that light. So the first point we have to remember, every human being, our deep core of being is the desire to receive. We want to receive whatever we want, especially want to be happy. and to feel pleasure. That's one. Two, because we were fulfilled in the beginning with endless light, we got also the traits of the creator, which means not just that we want pleasure, but we also need, one, to feel free because the creator needs nobody. Two, to be innovative because the creator is the creator, so we love to create. Three, the creator shares. We need to share in order to be happy. So there are three components in the secret of success. To be free, not just from other people, emotionally free. Okay? When we are enslaved to anger, we're enslaved to addictions, we're not free. Okay? So therefore, we cannot be happy. Being free means being able to do whatever we really want, which is, I want to be happy right now, I'm happy. I'm not waiting for anyone or anything to happen. By the way, which kind of a salesperson you will buy from? One that is always anxious because he didn't make enough, he didn't meet his quota yet, and maybe he wants, or somebody who's happy unconditionally. Which salesperson you have more chances to buy from? The happy one. Why? Because it feels true inside you. You know, this guy is more lucky also. He doesn't wait for you to make him happy. He's happy unconditionally. He is a creator. The other thing is innovation, which means creative. You're always creative. You'll never give up. You never say, oh, no hope. I just tried it. No, say we try this way, we try that way. Why? Because when is that we really feel conquest and success? When it was easy? No, when it was hard. We tried this way, we tried that way. And after the fourth time, seventh time, wow, now it's working. Why? Now it feels really ownership. And the creativity was really rewarding. The third thing is sharing. Now, what I mean to be sharing, we said the word Adam in Hebrew, which in Hebrew means also a human being, comes from the word Adameh, to be like, which means to resemble. What do you want to remember? To resemble? Adameh Elyon. We all want to resemble the above, the creator. We all want to be superhumans. Why are those movies so popular? Everybody wants to be a super person. The question is, are you willing to pay the price? Now, what is the price? And the price, we said, you have to remember that in order to resemble the light of the creator, remember, he's infinite. When we are selfish, we are finite. How do we turn the finite into infinite? The moment everything I want to have for myself, I'm willing to make sure that others have it too. And that moment, I turn myself from a finite vessel, remember the cup, it's a finite vessel, how much can you pour in? It overflows. When a moment I open the bottom and everything I get I also give, I become from a ratzon, desire, vessel, to tzino, a pipe. How much can a pipe get? Infinite. But if I give, what do I get? So the Kabbalist says, when you give, you get. When you give with total trust, you get. When you give because you really care, you get. Why you get? Because the moment you attach to the infinite light, how much light is there? There's infinite light for each human being. And no one can take what belongs to you. In order to, now, remember, we all have our fears, phobias. We have all kinds of scars, emotional scars from childhood, who knows from when. Okay, failure and stuff like this. When we share with excitement and happiness, the light comes in and heals us. Everybody who does it knows that. So when we are innovative and we share and we always think just about others and not just about us, I'm supposed to think about myself, because if I'm not powerful enough, I cannot support power to others. If I'm not knowledgeable enough, I cannot support knowledge to others. If I'm not strong enough, I cannot give strength to others. So I need to have it for myself, but only one condition. It's also genuinely and authentically for others. How do I create it? Like any sport, you just exercise. Every time we are in touch with other people, exercise creativity, independence, and sharing. So I think we just summed it up a little bit.
Great, great, Shaul. Thank you so much. So now I give you a few questions that we received through our chats, both in YouTube and in Zoom. Uh, First of all, thank you for this great presentation. Like on one hand, it was great, and on our hand, and the other hand, we couldn't expect less from you because it's such a pleasure listening and learning from you every time. So thank you again so much. Um, First of all, first question, you are asked, how can we develop our intuition?
Okay, so again, the moment that we remember, we spoke about that most people say, how could I get outside the box? Okay, what is the box? Our belief systems, habits, uh, our whatever we used to, that's the box. Okay, now how do I get out of the box? It's again the same answer. Remember that the light of the creator is infinite. It's not just energy, it's also knowledge and wisdom. Okay? So the moment I get out of my own self, which means my little self of my little desires, my little needs, but people have big needs. No, relatively to the infinite, there, even if you want to make $1 billion, you know what? $100 billion. How much is it relatively to the infinite? It's still very small. So you have to get out of the box. You need to be with the thinking, not just how I become better, it's also how do I make others people feel better. The moment I do that, I create that power of getting out of the box. Okay? I gave an example about the real professional. Okay? Sometimes I'll make it even more colorful. We all of us have experience in dealing with professionals. Some of the professionals, the moment you start to talk to them, they care only about getting money and fame. They don't really see you. They don't care for you. What do you feel? Can they help you? No, especially the ones who got the retainer. Whatever you come with them with an idea, and all what you hear from them, you shouldn't, you couldn't, it's not allowed, it's impossible, nobody ever did it. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, those professionals are the people that are stuck themselves. That's why you cannot give only what you have. Why? What does it mean? They're narrow-minded, they're selfish, and that's why they don't want to make the effort to help you grow bigger. They want themselves to be bigger, right? Like my grandma used to say when she went to the doctor and when she came home and the family said, "Are you better?" And she said, "No, the doctor is better. I paid him." Okay, so you know what I'm saying. So these kind of professionals you don't want to be and you don't want to deal with. So what are the real, that's the bottom of the ladder. The professionals that you really want to become and the professional you really want to work with are the people that are so there, so much there to help. So they really, that because when you give them the issue and they can say, I don't know, I don't have the answer, but you know what? I really want to help you. And if they really care for you, they will bring the answer. Where are they bringing the answer from? From outside the box. They admit, I don't know the answer. What I mean for outside the box? The moment you really care for others, it comes to you. From where? From the same place that happiness, real success, real life is coming from. from the endless light of the Creator. All the wisdom is really coming from there. How do I tap into it? When I really care. Then I have the energy, the innovation, the flashes of, wow, an idea. Where is it coming from? When you really care. When you really care, you become bigger than what you started with. Okay? That's a real professional. He doesn't know it. He has no problem to admit he doesn't know it. He will find it, and you know he'll find it. Why? Because he cares. You know, I'll give you an example. Sometimes you go to a seminar. You listen to everything that was said in the seminar, and somehow you think you got it. Then you come home, and there's somebody who couldn't come to the seminar, and he wants you to explain it to him. And as you're starting to explain it to him, you start to realize that you didn't get it in the first place. Now you're getting it. Why? Because you care to explain it to somebody else. Do you understand? Did you get the example? Which means the moment we care for others, we open. The moment we fake caring for others, we close. And people, you can cheat a lot of people for a lot of time, but you cannot cheat everybody all the time, right? When you're genuine and authentic and you really want to help, people would like to pay for your services. And you can get more and more customers. When you are not really caring for others, because what occupies your mind and your heart is the fear about the money, about the mortgage, the rent, other bills, becoming rich, showing off, whatever. If that is your agenda, you're small. And you're connected to very limited energy sources, and they are finite. You want to connect to unlimited energy sources, you have to be infinite. And that means turn yourself into a pipe, which means whatever you want to be bigger and stronger and smarter because you want other people to make it better. That is legitimate. And it doesn't happen by one day. It's a training of a lifetime to learn to overcome the fears, the anxieties. Wow. And to be there for the other person. This each time we face that opportunity, it's another seat, as another training that the Creator face you with. How to be there. They don't need to hear about your problems. They don't want to feel your pain and your anxieties. They want to help. And if you want them to pay you, you need them to feel that you really care for helping. So when you overcome the negativity and care to be there for others, you change because you get out of the box, because you become a superhuman. Before that, you were a human being who is a slave to his belief system, anxieties, stuff like this. But here you believe there's something bigger than just having a day like this. No, every day, every customer, every time I have a meeting with somebody else that needs something from me, it's another opportunity to grow, another opportunity to connect to the infinite. How? Be infinite yourself. When you see it this way, every moment of your life becomes spiritual.
Shaul, we are running out of time, but I want to ask one more question that from all the questions that we received, I think that there's one that is really difficult, that is not being like answered or you gave. Okay, this is the question. How do you handle the negative pressure that we get in this moment of disgrace in the world? We turn on the TV, on the computers, and see tragedies, crime, death, and robberies. Isn't it too much to handle?
First of all, if you agree it's too much, lay dead and get buried. Cheaper than anything else, because you don't have to overcome the health system. Just finish it. But we are not here to give up. We humans are put in situations in order to solve them, in order to overcome them. If you have the situation, overcome them. If you feel that watching TV and reading all of this bad news is not doing good to you, you can turn it off. Okay? Nobody forces you. Nobody forces you. Of course, you shouldn't be stupid. You should know what's going on. However, don't take overdose. So what do you do with the rest of the time? Think about innovation. Think about, okay, the world has changed. The world market has changed maybe forever. Okay, you know what? Most people don't want it to come back to go back to the way it was. So now this is the time to think, how could I use my talent, my creativity, whoever I am, to be part of the new world that is going to reveal itself to humanity within few weeks, few months, who knows when. This is the time to be busy with learning, meditating, reading, getting yourself wiser, smarter. What are the technologies right now? Why? You have time. Don't waste time getting us stressed out for how terrible it is. You know what? It's not so terrible. It's not that terrible. Okay? It's not the Black Plague of the Dark Ages. Still, it's like we have it right now, like it's a luxury plague. Okay? Most people are at home, comfortable, and you have the time to think, to learn, to study, and to reinvent yourself. If you focus on what you want, you know what happens? You forget to focus on what you don't want. When you concentrate on the light, what happens to the darkness? Poof, disappears. When you concentrate on the darkness, what happens to the light? Poof, disappears. So we have this like amazing game. And let's go, whoever heard my lecture about the coronavirus, I'll finish with that. When I heard about it the first time, I realized there's an amazing parable in the Talmud. It was written some 1500 years ago, talking about our days. It's in the Talmud, Masechet Sanhedrin, and it says over there that our world right now will be divided to two kinds of people, bats and roosters. Bats and roosters are sitting there at night waiting for the morning. And then the rooster is looking at the bat and saying, I know what I'm waiting for because I'm very excited every morning. But what are you waiting for? You're just looking for the darkness. You can't stand the light. So if you want to be a bat, and we know where this virus is coming from, genetically it's coming from bats. If you want to be a bat, just focus on what's wrong. Okay? You don't have so many chances to survive it. If you want to be a rooster, which is waking everybody up and saying, wow, the morning is coming. He feels the morning before he can see it with your eyes, because he sees it with his mind. So you want to be a rooster, what does it mean? Think about, focus about the morning, focus about the light, focus about the time that is coming, that humanity is changing for the better, and you'll find the innovation, the energy, the excitement. You have no other choice, by the way. Oh, you can choose being a bat, but that's not recommended. Very sickening. Okay.
Okay. Now, just to finish, first of all, thank you so much, Shaul. Ryan, can
Rami. Bueno, thank you so much, Shaul. Thank you so much. Dame que te corta. Espera que yo no lo pongo. Thank you so much, Shaul. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar. Remember that this is the first of a series of webinars that we are doing in the next couple of weeks. And remember that the next one is with Asaf Luxembourg, that he's a consultant, that he will give tools for having the energy here in this coronavirus crisis. And I'll share with you now a video that he prepared for inviting us for this lecture.
Hi everyone, my name is Asaf Luxembourg, and next week you're more than invited to join me into a webinar together with Innovation Experience Israel, and they will probably put their logo somewhere here. And the webinar will be all about how to seize the opportunity with the current Corona crisis. And whether you're a startup, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a freelancer, or you were an employee but you got laid off, or you didn't get laid off but you're looking for what to do in order to position yourself better and use this time, this crazy times we live in order to prepare for the day after, that webinar is for you. Whether you're an alumni of Innovation Experience Israel and we met in Israel, or we haven't, my job would be to give you as much valuable advice as possible. It would really help if you could read this blog post, which is online, because what I want to do is talk as least as possible and give as much advice and answer questions as possible. So looking forward to seeing you next week. Ciao, and keep safe and healthy.
Okay, everyone. See you tomorrow.
No, on Tuesday. On Tuesday.
Oh, sorry.
And remember, we tried like 1 million times to see if the YouTube works, and today it didn't. We will try one more, okay? And next time it will work. Sorry about that, the people that was trying to get into the meeting and couldn't, but after some minutes they could. So we will also upload the video of this talk with the full lecture. So if you want to listen it again and be inspired again, you can do it.
Happy
See you on
Pesach.
Happy Pesach, Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
See you everyone on Tuesday. Galera, nos vemos terça-feira, gente, nos vemos el martes con la charla de Asaf, con la palestra de Asaf. Chao.
Chao, gracias.
Chao, chao.